Shalom to all my friends in Pasadena and beyond. It is I, your friendly neighborhood Rabbi John Carrier, thanking you for joining us for day number 16 of the Elul Daily. Here at PJTC, we are a community that focuses on spiritual development, among other things. We're spending this month of Elul on a tradition we have called Heshbon Hanefesh. That means a spiritual accounting, or a looking back and looking inside and see ways we might want to improve in the year to come. I'm very excited today because we're starting a whole new week in our exploration of responsibility. The first week we talked about responsibility to ourselves. Then we talked about responsibility to our family and friends. This week we're talking about responsibility to community. And traditional Jewish texts have quite a bit to say about that. Some of my personal greatest hits, my favorites from the Talmud, come from Masechet Shabbat, where it talks about how there are deeds which have, let's say, a reward in this world, but also rewards stored up for us in the world to come. And those include things like maintaining the synagogue, making sure the lights are on, getting there early to start the heater, things like that, making sure that you're taking care of the poor people who need money for weddings and also for funerals, and things like hospitality, visiting the sick. What all these have in common are that they point out ways that we can be there for other people in our community. And that gives you not only a sense of personal reward when you make that happen, it also creates a great legacy by that example that you set. My other favorite line on community comes from Masechet Shavuot, I believe, and it says right there, Kol Yisrael Aravim Ze Lazeh. All of us are responsible for each other, right? The word Aravim means that we're all kind of mixed in together, but in context, it's talking about people being guarantors for one another. It's as if on some spiritual level, everyone in your community has you as co-signer on a kind of a holy loan, as it were. The flip side of that is that everybody in your community is a co-signer on you. And while that can be pretty heavy to think about, I think it's a great way to walk through life, feeling the responsibility to have other people's backs, but also knowing that they have that same responsibility and will be there for you when you need them. So as we kick off this week about responsibility toward community, I actually want to take a step back and ask you a question, maybe sort of a definitional question, if you will. The question of the day is this: how do you define your community? And I'm using air quotes there, your community. Some people call them scare quotes. Sometimes I call them sarcasm rabbits. Because I want to recognize that each of us belong to multiple communities. Our identity, our basis for connecting with others, might not just fit into one particular place like a synagogue or a school or a job. Each one of those has a sort of communal ecosystem all its own, and our sense of community could be wrapped up in each of them without having to decide which is the primary community. So before getting into more direct questions, I wanted to start off this week just asking you to think about, what are all the communities that you are a part of? What are the sub-communities that make up your own personal super community, if you will? I really hope one of those is PJTC, but I recognize that PJTC may just be one of the important communities that define what you feel responsible to. So take some time, think about what different communities you're involved in. How do they all come together to make what you call your community? I encourage you to write this down, make a list, maybe flesh it out, draw some Venn diagrams and circles and stuff if you like. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so you won't miss a single video. Thank you so much for sticking with us into week 3 here at the Elul Daily with PJTC. Until next time, peace.